So once you download the multitrack from multitracks.com, this is how step one of how I get it into the template and ready to be used for a full session Ableton set. So you first open up the ALS file, and this is what it looks like in the original format. First you add a tempo track, so I added an audio track. Make sure the inputs and outputs are correct, and then I record a blank audio clip on that audio track. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to consolidate all of the tracks together, which would be Command J, but I'm showing you how to do it with right clicking. I tried to avoid doing quick keystrokes here, and I right clicked everything so you can see what I'm doing. And then I renamed that tempo, so that's your tempo track. That will control the tempo of all the other tracks. So I changed follow to lead. You got to do it a couple of times for it to work. Sometimes it doesn't work for some reason. Then I'm adding a MIDI track, which is for your locators. Adding MIDI clips, you could do that with Command-Shift-M, I believe. Renaming that to locators. I delete my click track because we're going to make our own in a little bit. Then I just relabel all of the locators. And I'm showing you how to do that with right clicking, but you can just hit Command E to make cuts. And you want to mark all the time signature changes. That way you know where to put them later. That's most important for when you are actually doing your Ableton session for the full set list. That way everything is perfectly lined up in the grid. All right, so now you recolor. Tempo, locators, and guide, I do black. The rest of those clips, I do that light blue. I don't like seeing a bunch of colors for some reason. I like everything to just be the same thing. Then I renamed the tempo track to the name of the song, the BPM, which you can see in the top left of the screen, and the key of the song. Which if you don't know it, it'll say it on Multitracks' website. You can just figure it out by ear as well. Then I collect all and save. You can save it to wherever you need. And then I like to collect all and save for good measure again. All right, there's first step. Then you would open a new live set. Now that you have your new live set open, you are going to drag the ALS file that you just made from the new Ableton set. Okay, then you drag up into the template. So now we're working with my template that I use. I changed the time signature to 6/8. You want to make sure you always do that at the beginning. Then I group all the tracks together, rename the group. I like that color for that. You want to make sure you change that to sends only. That way the tracks are going to the return tracks at the bottom right of the screen. And now I made the MIDI click track. So you're entering the notes in to fire that sample. That's what that was doing. Then, see, this is where the time signature changes are important. So I extended that to where it covers that 3/8 measure, but now I copied and pasted what I had before. So you see I'm made a cut right there. Yeah. So I made that cut, Command E, copy paste. Now what I forgot to do is actually make a time signature on the grid of Ableton, but you can do that when you put everything together anyway for the Sunday set list or Wednesday. Okay, then you just drag it down so it only goes to that ending. Now I'm going to consolidate the click so it's all one track. You could do Command J for that. Now I'm going to do my return tracks. So I'm sending drums to that none file, or none track. Percussion goes to perk, so that would be that one. Perk 2, and so on. Bass is none. Synth bass is keys, so I'm going to drag that down to where the other keys tracks are. Then I'm going to open up, keep doing that. Acoustic goes to perk. Electrics go to electric unless they sound. Sometimes electric tracks sound more like keys tracks if they're really ambient, so you'll just have to use your ear for that. And then BGVs, choir, go to BGVs, and so on. And then it's always good to listen back to some of these. If a percussion or effects track sounds like it has pitch, I would write P. I'd say like perk P or something like that. That way I know when I'm changing keys to change the key of that track as well. You don't need to change the key normally unless it is has pitch. So then I name it, save it where I need to save it. And then I hit collect all and save again.